Moving into a new apartment is hectic. So, we made this new apartment safety checklist that you can follow along. If your stove catches fire or your toilet starts overflowing, at least you'll know what to do. Moving is a busy time, but these simple, inexpensive procedures can save you tons of time and money down the road. Sometimes you trip a breaker by having too many appliances running at once, but there are other emergency situations when you'll need to turn the power off in a hurry. Either way, you'll need to know where your electrical panel is. Just look for the big metal box built into the wall. In an apartment, you'll often find it right inside the entrance to the unit. If your electrical panel doesn't have labels, you should add them. Labeling your panel is easy. Just switch on every light in your house and plug in as many lamps or other electronics as possible. Then, switch off the breaker switches one at a time and take note of which rooms lose power. Label the panel accordingly, and you're done. If any of your water-using appliances start spraying water where they shouldn't be, you need to be able to shut off their water supply. Water damage is bad. Even overflow from a harmless toilet can cause damage if the water isn't shut off quickly. Houses normally have a master valve that shuts off water to the whole building, but most apartments won't. Instead, you should find valves under each sink and behind the toilets. When water starts to overflow anywhere, don't think twice. Shut it off first and ask questions later. For even more safety, pick up a few cheap leak detection alarms. For about $20 each, you can buy little leak detectors to stick under your sinks and near your dishwasher or laundry machine. If any of these start to overflow, the detector will sound an alarm and you can shut off the water before it does too much harm. Water damage isn't only bad for your apartment. It can cause major problems for the units below you as well. You don't make friends with your neighbors or your landlord by flooding them out. Whether you're a seasoned cook or the type of person who can burn a pot of water, you should always have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen. Hot elements or open flames are obviously fire hazards. That can be especially true when you're moving in. A few boxes stacked haphazardly on the stove are one bumped knob away from starting a fire. But also, kitchen fires can be harder to put out than others. When cooking oils or fats are burning, water won't cut it. Dumping water on a grease fire is a lot like dumping gas on a regular fire. Mount your fire extinguisher somewhere that's easy to access, ideally out in the open or close to the kitchen entrance. If your extinguisher is too close to the stove, you might not be able to grab it during a blaze. In most apartments, one extinguisher is enough, but if you have a barbecue on your balcony or just a really big apartment, you should have more than one extinguisher so you can access it right when you need it. And if you're curious as to what properly rated fire extinguishers are, we have a link to an article about it in the description below. Take a moment to figure out where you'll go before an emergency strikes. A lot of buildings have evacuation route maps posted on each floor. Otherwise, just make sure you know the most direct route to get outside without using an elevator. You should identify at least 2 different routes you can use to escape. That can include escaping through a window or balcony, or down a fire escape ladder. It's not a bad idea to practice your escape routes occasionally as well. Every home needs at least one smoke alarm. When you move into your new place, take a moment to check them. It's as easy as pressing the button on the detector until it makes a loud noise. If it doesn't make a noise, replace the batteries and try again. Although, most apartment buildings should have hardwired smoke alarms, meaning they don't need batteries to function. So, if you can't get yours to work, ask your landlord to fix it as soon as possible. And if you want to go the extra mile, make a habit of quickly testing your smoke alarm about once a month. When you move into a new apartment, you should ask your landlord to change the locks. You never know who out there might have a set of keys to your apartment. In some provinces, landlords actually have to change the locks when you move in, if you ask. Otherwise, they may ask you to pay for the new lock, but it's worth it either way for the security. Also, make sure your door has a secondary lock that's in good shape, like a deadbolt or chain. One of the ways to check the quality of your deadbolt is the ANSI grade, 1, 2, or 3. ANSI grade 1 is the highest if you want to really lock down your apartment. And while you're at it, check your windows and balcony doors that they're secure enough that no one outside can slide them open. If you want a full rundown on apartment security, check out this video right here. Not everyone has the social fortitude But getting to know your neighbors is a very underrated home security practice. You don't have to be best friends, but at least knowing your neighbors' names and what they look like helps build trust and a sense of community. You can look out for their homes, and they can look out for yours. It makes it easier for everyone to keep track of suspicious strangers hanging around the building. Meeting your neighbors can be as easy as a quick hello or a little small talk in the hallway. If your building has any communal areas, you can spend a little time there as well and see who comes by. Some buildings even have Facebook groups or something similar for residents to join. Even when you've done everything else here, sometimes bad things just happen. When they do, home insurance can help you cover the cost of repairing or replacing your damaged stuff. If your apartment is damaged and you need to move out during the repairs, home insurance can also help cover the extra accommodation costs. You can check out your coverage options and find out the cost by getting a free online quote. It only takes 5 minutes. Just click the link in the description or at the end of the video. For more information and help with your new apartment, check out these videos here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. Can help you cover the costs of repairing. We're gonna start again. Whew. Let's do that again. Hello!